Hello guys, my name is Nadine and I assure you that you have clicked on the right video. Please tell our friends that are English speakers that there are some interesting testimonies for them on this channel. Thank you for sharing the video. I'm going to share with you how God blessed my husband and I with a beautiful flat in a beautiful city and at an unbeatable price. I have noticed that several people have joined this channel and I welcome you. There is a variety of content on this channel for you. Music, Christian music covers, messages of exchange and encouragement. And for those of you who watch the videos without subscribing, I encourage you to subscribe in order to be a permanent part of the work I do here. By subscribing, you are telling the algorithm that you like my content. Thank you for cooperating. So, there is a testimony I'm going to share with you that happened a few months ago. I was still in a student room with my husband. We live in Germany, actually. More precisely, we live in the state called NRW, and we were already very congested in the student room, so it became difficult to receive people because our room, which was our private place, was also our kitchen, our living room, and we had a small shower inside. So sometimes we had conflicts because if I wanted to study, my husband had to be quiet, and if he wanted to be quiet and I wanted to make a phone call, it was going to be a problem. And on top of that, I didn't want to have people in our room, so we had to think about relocating. So the very first video on this channel were made in that student room. These are memories that were recorded through YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. We lived in the room for a long time and our stay was about to expire, and we couldn't extend it because we had already extended it once. So you have to know that in Germany, the accommodation in the university residence is very cheap in general. When you live in a university residence, the electricity and water consumption are directly included in your rent, and the prices, all of this together is very, very affordable. And most of the time, every student room has free internet access. But when you go to live in a private house, you have to pay the bills separately at a high price. So we had already extended our stay in the student city once, and now we had to make room for other people who would also benefit from the cheaper accommodation. And about 6 months before the end of the contract, my husband and I started to think about where we would move to. And sometimes we had people around us telling us that we were too late in looking for accommodation. We lived in a town called Bonn, Bonn, which is in the center west of Germany, in the state of North Rhine-Westphalia. It was the very first capital of Federal Republic of Germany before Berlin. So as time went by, we were under pressure because we wondered where we would go to live if we didn't find a place to move in time. And I remember when I often went to do jobs in the neighboring city, I used to go by train to other small towns near Bonn. And at each stop of the train, when I found the place beautiful, I would dream and say to myself, I would like to live here. It became a bit of routine for me, to the point where I had favorite places where I would often say to my husband, I'd like us to live here. So, and the pressure was still growing and time is running out. We started looking online. We told relatives to let us know if they know of any offers, but still nothing interesting. Then one day, there was a program at church, a teaching on healing and prayer for the sick. I was excited about the program, and then I suddenly lost the motivation. And what motivated me to go in the end was that God just put on my heart to just even go, if it was only for Him that I was going. And God just got me so motivated that I wanted to go to the event, and I finally did. It was a Saturday and it was going to be all day. I set off and I got out of the bus to go into the church. I saw an elderly dad walking with difficulty. He had a walking stick in his hand, and then he leaned on the fence of a house on the way. I went up to him and asked him if he needed help, and he said no, that he would be fine. I asked him again if he was sure, and he said yes, that he just wanted to go to church. That's when I realized that he was going to the same church as me. So I left and he slowly joined at his own pace. Then teaching went well, and there were little breaks. During the break, he and I talked about everything. We got to know each other. We talked about health, which was the main subject of our presence that Saturday. And afterwards, he asked me if I was studying, etc. Then the conversation went until I told him that I lived in Bonn with my husband and that we will soon be moving. And then he asked me if I had already found something, and I told him no, that we were still looking for. Then he showed me some pictures of a flat and said that if I wanted, he could send me the pictures and I would look at them with my husband. He also had to talk with his wife, and if we were interested in the flat, we would have a meeting with the four of us to discuss about it. So we exchanged contact, and I went home to tell my husband about everything. We emailed them and he gave us the address of the flat. He and his family lived upstairs, and we were to arrange a day to meet. I was so excited when I saw the pictures that I agreed with my husband, and I went to spy on the place before the meeting. I arrived at the location, and as I was not expected, I tried not to make the owners of the house aware of my presence. I started praying and talking, taking possession of the place. In fact, the father had told us that there were already people interested in the house and that we were not the only ones. When I was next to the house, I said to myself that I must do as the people of Israel had done to conquer Jericho. So you're going to tell me that it's not the same context, but I can tell you that you are wrong. But I'm just telling you what happened, what I did. I went around the house singing, praying, and declaring that God would give my husband and me the flat in possession. When I finished my work, I went home. With the father and his wife, we continued conversations by emails until we decided that we would meet. We were well received by him and his wife told us that since we met at church, the husband has not stopped thinking about me, and that he felt how God insisted that he gives us the flat. At the same time, he and his wife said that they were hopeful that we would be able to pay the rent without any problem as we were still students. We reassured them, of course, and then they decided to lower the price of the flat for us and to make us pay everything included and at a very good price, a bit like in the university residence. But the big difference was that we were no longer in a university residence, and we had a nice little flat already furnished at a very good price just for us. So we moved in, and we realized that our landlords were like parents to us, always there to support us emotionally, spiritually, etc. And you will never believe if I tell you that the city where we got the flat is one of the cities I admired when I was looking for a house until the moment I'm talking to you. I wake up in the mornings sometimes and I say to myself, Lord, you have done us favor. And I share this testimony with you to encourage you. If you are in the process of looking for a home, a flat, or a room, just know that God is able to fulfill your needs. And as I'm sharing the testimony, I pray that the Lord will do you good and provide for you for the home that your heart desires. As I share this testimony, I give thanks to God for Fabian and Kez, who were able to find an accommodation in a record time, and for MG, my sister, who found a good accommodation after a long time of searching. While you are watching this video, I would like to ask you to pray. Please pray for my landlord and his wife, who the Lord has used to do me good. I would like you to ask the Lord to surprise them, to surprise the landlord with good health and blessings. We are at the end of this video and I hope you have enjoyed listening, because I have enjoyed sharing with you. Subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Leave a like to show me that you like the content, and share the video so that this message does someone good. See you next time, and you are free to watch other videos. I have more than 2 videos in English for you, and other videos in French, and songs in English and songs in French. So just take your time and watch and be blessed. See you next time. Bye.